My name is Harry Jones, curator and writer. This is an original poem addressing the question posed in Countee Cullen's poem Heritage, What is Africa to Me? Do you remember Timbuktu? Our African fathers said, salt comes from the north, gold from the south, silver from the land of the European, but the word of God and the treasures of wisdom can only be found at Timbuktu. The Germans call such a place an Ostru, a fidelity of place for the children of Timbuktu. In Algiers, across from New Orleans, there was a door, and this child of Timbuktu entered it to get to his captivity. And it was all a historical irony, because in the Algiers of North Africa, we, the children of Timbuktu, sold the children of Europa into captivity. Thus, in this soul's memory, our bondage here was irony, and was well written in prophecy, for the massa lived in the great house, which is what the Pharaoh means. And I remember when his heart was hardened, right before his firstborn son was taken in a rather uncivil parting of a Red Sea through which the captives passed to be free. Do you remember when we used to come together as members of all the royal families where the African cattlemen roamed? We all came back to Timbuktu to give birth at our Ostru. Do you remember when the child of Europa never came back alive, if he even arrived near the walls of Timbuktu? That was during the reign of kings and queens like you. Those were the days of our glory. And oh, what a glorious story. Do you remember when the Songhai were forced out of Timbuktu? It was the Andalusian who called himself a free man, who was called a Moor by the European, who sold the Songhai king as a bondsman to the child of Europa, who was a Virginian, and this mixed breed of rather royal Europeans survived in North America as a consequence of having the children of Timbuktu among them. Do you remember when you got sold? I remember when my father sold you for less than gold. I remember when your father sold me in another war. Do you remember when we were at peace at Timbuktu? For centuries, if you remember? Oh, but sadly, I remember far too much war. I remember when the son of the learned man, who was to many a holy man, sold the children of the royal houses of the Hausa and Yoruba lands to the Europeans, because in this land I became one with all of them, an American. And standing on that auction block in Algiers across from New Orleans, I remembered well all my life since Adam fell. And I remember making love to you all the way back to Eve, when we lay on the ground where the apple fell from the tree. Eve, you knew just what to do, and you helped me plant the seed of hallelujah. We fell from grace in a lover's embrace, and the God of creation blessed us in posterity. It was my lust for your beauty that willed us to be in posterity. It encouraged me to bite of the apple that I might know it, planted my seed in the garden to grow. It comforted me in the midday under blazing sun. And when that day was done, my manhood embraced your Eve. And in the garden, love was conceived. Surely you remember when we were Adam and Eve.